Hi, group number 4s. Welcome to this week's reading. This week we are doing a spread called Banishing Drama. And I've already shuffled the cards and everything. I want to give you a heads up that this week I'm using my Rebels deck, which is an Oracle deck, which is a very strong deck. It's got some powerful language to it, so if you're easily offended, maybe go check out a different video. But as I was saying, this week we are doing a Banishing Drama spread. So I'm going to read you the 6 questions, and then we're going to get right on into it. So, but first, this is the card that drew you guys in today for my group number 4s. The masked man on a train in the desert. So, that's the card that drew you in. So the 6 questions are, excuse me. Oh, by the way, I'm Pan, in case you're new here. Hi, welcome on this channel. I do readings. So, the questions for this week's reading are, what is this dramatic situation really about? What's my ego in this agenda? Wow. What's my ego's agenda here? How can I allow myself to be at peace instead of trying to be right? What kind of boundary do I need to set? What can I do to stay away from this drama? And last but not least, what has this situation taught me? So, let's get into it, shall we, group number 4? So, your first card here, this card is, what is this dramatic situation really about? And the card we have for you guys is the 5 of Cups. As well as, you got a feeling you just can't shake. That little voice inside of you, listen to that shit. Okay, so this dramatic situation you find yourself in might be about feelings. It might be very emotional situation. It's about your feelings or somebody else's feelings that are being hurt maybe in this situation, or that are being triggered, something like that. So the 5 of Cups is an emotional card. It's about feeling grief and upset about something that has happened, and not realizing that there's other good things behind you. But this card, in congruency with this card here, I have a feeling that, like, whatever the dramatic situation is, there's an underlying current of old hurt, of maybe intuition is broiled up in here somewhere. There's feelings that are very intense in this situation, and it's more about the feelings that the situation is bringing up for you than it is about the actual situation. Like, maybe it's bringing up fear of abandonment, or maybe this situation is bringing up anger at I don't know. Maybe this situation is bringing up anger, like righteous anger that makes you feel the way you did in your childhood or something like that. There's something about this situation that's bringing up old feelings that you haven't processed yet. And it's less about the situation you're in and more about those unprocessed feelings. So, let's move on to the next card. The next card is, what's my ego's agenda here? And the card we have for you guys is the Sun card, as well as take a shot. Don't take 12, take 1. Okay, maybe 2, and then move on. So yeah, again, this idea of unprocessedness here. Oh, her boob is out. Sorry. Here we go. So What is my ego's agenda here? I feel like for once, your ego is trying to push you forward in a way you have not pushed yourself forward before. This is almost like when the people pleaser enters their villainous era and they start sharing how they really feel about stuff. It's not actually villainous. It's just like treating themselves how they treat others. It's just making their needs known as opposed to like bowing to everybody else's needs. It feels like your ego is like, we need to process this. We need this moment for ourselves to come out of the hole, come out of an emotional hole we've been hiding in, or let the emotion come out of the hole that it's been hiding in, or the trauma or whatever. Your ego is pushing you to process. It's pushing you to take a chance, trust somebody, get this out. Get whatever it is out so you can move on. It's bringing it, your ego is trying to make this moment about you because it needs to be, for you to process whatever feeling is being brought up in this dramatic situation. Yeah, it's a need to let yourself be heard. If that makes sense to you guys. So the next cards here are, how can I allow myself to be at peace instead of trying to be right? And the cards we have for you guys are the Star card and you are giving too many fucks. Give 0. Yeah. I like it. Yeah, so maybe this emotion has never been processed with safe people before because you are afraid of what they would think, or you're afraid of being the star. You're afraid of making yourself the centerpiece of any situation. And because of that, you've never really processed how you feel, because it's always been about somebody else's feelings, somebody else's trauma, somebody else's situation, and it's never been about you or how you want to process things or how you feel. It's again this message of, we need to let go and not give a single fuck what anybody else in the situation feels or thinks, because it's our time now. We need to process some shit. It's time for us to heal from past wounds and give a fuck about ourselves. Give a fuck about what we're feeling right now and not what other people are feeling. We need to be the star. We need to be the moment. We need to be the one coming out, shining through, expressing. We need to be the one to express what we're feeling, because it seems to have not been processed before this moment. So I would advise you to do this with safe people, or a therapist, or a professional, like a counselor or somebody like that, somebody you trust, to process these emotions. It needs to be about you, but you can do it with a safe, trusted person who will help you through it. Cool? Okay, so the next piece we have here is, what kind of boundary do I need to set? And the cards we have for you guys are the Lovers. Oh, I love that for you. That's almost exactly what I just said. And then we also have Detox. Drink a smoothie, unfriend an asshole, and throw some shit out. Yeah, it's that same message of trust some people, be intimate with some people. Let these emotions that have been bubbling beneath the surface out. We need to let go. We need to get it out. We need to let it air. We can't hold it all in anymore. And we need to be on a deep, intimate level with the people around us who are safe. Like, this dramatic situation happened probably because you weren't communicating with the person who is trying to communicate with you. However that presents in your life, this dramatic situation, it happened because we weren't being true to ourselves. We weren't making our needs known. So there needs to be a trust and a trust established. Now, trust can have boundaries, like, but there needs to be some trust established here. That's the boundary that needs to be set here, of like finding the trusted people to be intimate with, to really express these hurt feelings with, not just lashing out with them, but instead finding the trusted people to communicate them with, and not to ruminate on these horrible emotions, but to process, to feel and release, not feel and hold and keep and push down and stomp on it. Like, like we need to detox. We need to process. I can't think of the word I want to right now, but the boundary needs to be not to ruminate, but to revisit, evaluate, process, feel and let go. Yeah, that type of process is what needs to happen here. And as far as what kind of boundary do I need to set, I think we really need to be careful with who we process this with. And also, like, another boundary could be like a boundary with yourself, as we are processing these emotions, to make ourselves feel safe, make ourselves feel seen, and give ourselves breaks when we need breaks. Make sure we're fed, make sure we're sleeping, make sure, like, self-care as we process this hard emotion that we have not yet processed. I hope that makes sense for you guys. So, the next card that I have is, what can I do to stay away from this drama? What can I do to stay away from this drama? And the card we have for you guys is the Four of Pentacles. Yeah, and stop sleeping so damn much. Wake up. You're missing some cool shit. All right, I'm taking this message not about sleeping specifically, but more about sleeping on yourself, like sleeping on your own needs, holding them tight to your chest and not letting anybody else know or understand what they are. You're causing more drama that way. By being a human with no needs, you have made yourself into a robot and into a item that people acquire to make their lives better. And that makes it really hard for you to express your feelings to people because they don't see you as people. This is really harsh, but that's like what I'm seeing here, is that like we've become the person that does so much that people forget that we have emotions. They forget that we have needs as well. And sleeping on our own needs does not make them go away. It doesn't make them like not exist. It actually makes them more prevalent. It's like it's like if you've been touch starved for like years and then somebody gives you a hug, you're suddenly in love with them. Not because that person had any special powers or anything, but because you were so deprived that one hug felt like true love to you. You know what I mean? instead of, by pushing down our needs and our feelings, instead of making them go away, we make them worse. So when there needs to be a letting go of these things, a letting go, an expression, a speaking out. Sorry, that's my chair. A speaking out of these things, because without that, the people around you can't get to know you because they're just seeing the mask that you put on. Right? So to stay away from the drama, you actually need to be a little bit more dramatic for yourself, if that makes sense. So let's move on to our very last card. What has this situation taught me? And the card we have for you guys is the Seven of Cups. Ooh. The Seven of Cups, as well as you are going through some tough shit. Everyone has their turn. Welcome to yours. Gather your tired ass up and handle it. Yeah. There's a lot. There's a lot to learn from this situation, is what your guides are saying. They're like, hey, there's a lot you could glean from this situation. There's a lot to learn. There's a lot to process. There's a lot of changes that can be made because of this situation. You just have to do them. If you ignore them, if you push those feelings back down, if we decide, it's fine, my needs don't matter, if we continue down that path, we're gonna have the same results. We're gonna find another crocodile in our cup. This situation will happen again. But if we learn from this situation and try to grow and change and do a different thing this time, we might actually get through this tough shit. We might not end up back in this tough shit. We might be able to process and let go and change our behavior so that this shit's not gonna happen again. Okay? I hope that made sense to you guys and that it wasn't too harsh, but we are also still going to pull a oracle card from my Kali deck, she is a goddess of destruction, but also rejuvenation. So let's see what Kali has to say to finish out your reading, my group number 4s. Let's see what she's got to say. This one? Okay, we'll do that one. So, the card that we have for you, my group number 4s, focus, there we go, is we have this card, which is the Blue Terra. Card 17, Blue Terra. Isn't pretty? I don't think I've had this one before. Let's see what it says, shall we? Okay. Card 17, Blue Terra. Sweet Mother of Peace now bestows her gifts of clarity, peace, and the power to overcome any negative condition. Just as the beautiful lotus grows from muddied waters, so too shall you arise from confusion, difficult circumstances, and heavy energies into sacred blossoming. If you feel held back or slowed down by your circumstances, remember that your soul has the ability to process all experiences and become stronger, not weaker, through doing so. The oracle indicates healing and a positive prediction for a peaceful future. And I'm also going to read you this little bit here. Unlike Kali's wild and free hair, Terra's is carefully coiled. This represents her gift of gently taming the wild spirit and providing us with careful, patient, and loving steps to bring ourselves back to peace and empowerment. If you have been feeling out of control of yourself or situations, you have felt incapable of positively influencing, The oracle of the blue Tarot brings comfort. Chaos will give way to the correct higher order of love. Let there be peace in your heart. As she looks to her right, gazing towards the future, the gift of this oracle is a prediction of peaceful, protected, and authentically expressive future, drawing close to you now. You have every right to feel hopeful, happy, and secure in your future destiny unfolding. Now, nowhere in there does it say that this future will be easy. I just want to say that. It does say peaceful. We're just going to read this one other part to you guys too. Blue Skin Tarot represents the element of spaciousness. Creating space in our lives opens up to grace. You can only receive what you create room for. Blue Tarot reminds us to continually clear a way for grace. That can require letting go of mentally clinging and emotional distress and becoming open to positive outcomes, no matter how unlikely or inaccessible they may seem sometimes. We do not accomplish this by denying or ignoring thoughts and feelings, but by practicing reassurance and dropping into trust. It is a spiritual art. Sometimes it will be easier to practice than others. Yet in shifting from distrust to trust again and again, we learn the pattern. We learn to drop from our head into our heart. We learn to empower Tara's grace in our lives for the spiritual benefit of all beings. I like that a lot for you guys. Well, I hope this helped group number 4. Please like, comment, and subscribe because that helps me out so much on my channel. I think that's all I have to say. I hope you all have a blessed everything, and I will see you next reading. This was Pan. Bye, guys.